Alrighty, let's get this going. How's everybody holding up? Hopefully, acceptably at least. Ideally, pretty well. Figured we might as well do a bit of a hangout here and talk about various topics that you feel like, or I feel like, whatever, you know. A mutual exchange of topics and stuff. Okay, that didn't work. Anyway, so let me just rearrange some windows here. Okay. All right. It's probably not much happening here today. I mean, it's this channel after all. We have 6 people right now. Whee! All right. Oh, somebody. How is the weekend going for you if you have one? We're not going to talk about the weather. Not going to set the bar that low, but otherwise, anything I mean, if you really want to talk about the weather, we can, but makes me feel even more like an old man, you know? Same old, yeah. Well, it's 12 people now. In other words, we just doubled. It doesn't have the same ring with such numbers, but hey, it's technically times 2. And almost half of you like the stream, so even though we've only been going for a minute, well, 2 minutes now. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter on this. This stream I'm not doing for views or ad revenue or super chats or anything like that. This is just to socialize, you know, hang out a little bit and make the treadmill a bit less boring. That's basically the idea. That's all I got for right now. Imagine we had such a virtual exercise group all the time. Yeah, just a bunch of people gathering together who all have treadmills and keep each other occupied. And when someone is like, oh, I think I've had enough, everybody else just shoots them a judgmental glare like, no, you will stay and keep suffering with us. That's maybe a bit too toxic, but yeah. Something like that. I don't know. It's a way to spend time semi-productively. I mean, it is productive, not just semi. Just gonna go for a while until my ankles hurt and my knees and all this other bullshit. So approximately in 10 minutes. Hey, some person, get appreciated. I'm going to go spread mulch. Okay. Well, good luck with your mulch endeavors. You must be living in a different climate zone. Because the idea of mulch to me right now seems funny. Because snow everywhere. We had quite a bit dumped on us. It's not fun. I don't know how you can possibly like snow when you have to deal with all this bullshit. And you have to shovel driveways for an hour and have to deal with, you know, the car getting stuck or slippery conditions or whatever. Traffic being messed up. My gym does something like this. Go biking to bike and socialize while listening to music. Well, there you go. Just watched your sword/dagger video and now you're live. Cool. Yeah. Let's see how abysmally that's gonna fucking perform. I already apologize in advance if at some point I go on I'll rant about things, you know, how the channel is going and all that. I'll try not to, but I can't guarantee that I will be able to resist the urge to vent. Not that it does anything, so. How do you tend to entertain yourself normally while cardioing? I try to watch videos. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to work that well. I get tired of it pretty quickly. But yeah, most of the time I do this while editing. Because then it's like, yeah, okay, it's two things that are kind of tedious. So whatever. Then it's just, I do that earlier on in the day when I still have the mental resources to deal with it, you know. Basically, that's it. What do you think is more more important for weight loss? Exercise or less food? Nutrition is more important. You can't outrun bad eating, but both matter. And also, it's not even necessarily less food, it's better food. You know, like, you can, if you, instead of a burger, you eat the same number of calories in, you know, veggies and other healthy whole foods, it's going to be more food. It's going to be more food, but less calories and less garbage, you know? That's how it is. Sometimes you have to let it out. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that really does anything. Not really. I mean, it drags someone else down with your problems that they don't have to deal with, and they have their own problems. Like, I feel like venting is really a bad thing to do for the most part. There's no positive bottom line. It's just kind of a selfish thing to do. But sometimes, you know, you get so frustrated that it just kind of bursts out. You know what I mean? It just kind of, the pressure cooker can only hold on to so much, you know? Anyway. Just want to leave this a little encouragement. Keep it up. Thank you. I am trying to. It's, Dealing with stress is more difficult, I find, when you're hungry. And lately I've been basically ravenously hungry for half the day, because it's pretty much the same every day. Like, I know what I intend to eat, and then it always ends up being more for lunch. And then I'm like, well, then I guess I'm not going to eat anything for the rest of the day, because every time I eat, it's a risk. You know, there's a certain chance that I'll go overboard or even start straight up binging. But sometimes it's rough, you know, going from like 1 p.m. the rest of the day, I get stupidly hungry by evening. But, yeah, the alternative is worse. Walking through the Dark Souls main menu, yeah, I guess. Kind of. I feel like I'm about to go hollow here. The worst thing about it is, you know, how difficult it is to just get through 1 week and then to think, I'm going to have to do this for a year to get to where I want to be. Can't think about that. Find it easier to skip meals when you're involved in something that takes up your attention? Yes. It can be, but my body has a way of snatching attention away. Like, sometimes I'll just get, the hunger just becomes so painful that it just distracts me from what I'm doing at the moment, you know? carbs are not the enemy as such. Highly processed carbs are, but that's generally the thing. Ultra processed food is bad for you. It doesn't matter if it comes in the form of carbs, fat, or protein. It really doesn't matter. It's bad. So if your sources of carbs come from whole grains and veggies and legumes and all that, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But of course, a lot of the junk food that we got in the stores is not exactly healthy whole food. What helped me a ton was getting this app called My Net Diary. Oh yeah, I've used those too. A chronometer, in my case. The thing is, for a while I've tried to do it, and still am trying to eyeball it, so to speak, instead of doing that, because it's got some pitfalls as well. Like, when I've had cases where either at the end of the day I actually had some calories left, and I didn't even feel like eating more, but then I did anyway because, well, I've got some left. Or the danger with that is always, if I then go over my calorie goal, then it's all too easy to just be like, well, I already failed, fuck it, and then go crazy with it. Everything has pitfalls. Haven't seen a State of the Collection video in a while. I did put up a shorts video just recently that shows most of it. I mean, basically, that's the thing. Like, currently, whenever you see me in the room with the weapons on the wall, that is most of what I currently have. There are a few extra ones that I haven't put up yet or that don't fit, and otherwise a bunch of blunt ones for practice. But basically, that's a core collection right now. Silent Hill is coming for you, yeah. The fog. I must escape from the fog, but I'm not getting anywhere. It keeps closing in from all sides. Help! Ah, shit. I did it again. I need to actually wear this smartwatch, goddammit. It's useful. It can track a treadmill workout as well. I just keep forgetting to put it on. And when I do, it's like, no, there's this foreign object on my arm. Get it off. Anyway. Right, I can close this window actually. Boom. Does I do skeletal muscle / fat percentage? Yes, but very inaccurate. Some scales do an okay job. They're never going to be all that accurate, but watches is even less accurate than that. Hey Nat, how you doing? Have you heard about what's happening with Vince McMahon at the moment? Not really. What is happening? Not that I'm really invested, but we can talk about it. Okay, are we good now? Can I get it started? I mean, is it really gonna... Hang on. Other workout. There it is. Treadmill. Boom. And go. Alright. Is it going? Yeah. Okay. Let's see how well it can... Damn it, I should have... Yeah, you know what? I'm still gonna do it. I was just thinking I should start the treadmill and the watch at the same time and then compare. You know, if the watch can detect the distance. I doubt it. Like, why? How would it do that, right? But it's doing that. Oh, shit. Well, never mind. The phone is basically... The watch is basically dead. It doesn't really matter. So much for that. Okay, fine. I'm gonna have to charge that son of a bitch. Okay. Well, that didn't work. That was very useful. An attempt was made. A bad attempt. It's not smart enough if you have to tell it to do it, I guess. SA allegations? Can't say that surprises me. He does seem like the kind of dude. Just based on vibes. It's not a nice thing to say. Because, like, vibes are not exactly evidence or anything, but, yeah. Like, it might just be one of those hindsight things, you know? You're told something, and then in hindsight, you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But would you have predicted it before? Not really, right? Anyway. Doing okay? Hope the weather is okay there? No, it's wintry. It sucks. Hating. Have you ever hosted a Project Zomboid server? No. I feel like Zomboid is tedious enough, even when you're able to speed up time. In multiplayer, you can't do that, so... Super tedious, especially reading books and stuff. All in real time. At least you don't have to sleep, but yeah. How much snow you got? About a bit over half a meter. The deepest that we got here in places is like 80 centimeters. That's because it was combined with a lot of wind. So, yeah, some spots are pretty damn deep and others are fairly shallow, but yeah, about half a meter on average. And it was apparently the most snowfall in 20 years here, because normally, you know, we don't get that much. And yeah, not a fan of that. Do you ever listen to the song I sent you? I don't remember seeing any message for the song, so I guess not. Canada uses meters? I thought you would use feet like Americans. Well, both. Both is used here, but I just prefer the objective superiority of metric. Suck it. I really don't get this whole feet and inches thing. Metric is more straightforward, more precise, and you know, you got everything is multiples of 10. You know, a meter is 100 centimeters. A foot is how many inches? It's just a mess to me. And then when you get to what is expressed in millimeters, you have to use the fractions of inches, which is just silly. Like, if you grow up with it, I'm sure it makes sense to you, but it doesn't to me. Yeah, freedom units, I know. What's rail transport like in Canada in your view? You mean passenger? Almost non-existent. Rail is basically almost exclusively freight here. There are some passenger trains, but few and far between, and ridiculously expensive. It's not useful for that, really. Europe is like 20 times better in that regard. Yes, technically millimeters are fractions of centimeters, but come on. Come on. We're talking about dividing by 10 and 100 as opposed to whatever random shit, you know? Yeah, bald eagles per glazed donut. Police brutality cases per glazed donut. Somebody didn't take well to that joke I made in a video where I was like, well, if this was in America, they would have been shot 50 times. Somebody was really offended by that. It's like, yeah, no, they are not like that, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the way humor works is you're exaggerating something that happens in the world. Because good humor is rooted in reality. It's not like something that's completely off base, never happened like this, and it's completely unrealistic. It's an exaggerated version of reality, and it, you know, looks at the absurdity of it all. And the absurdity is a law enforcement officer inflicting unjust violence upon someone. That's absurd because they're supposed to uphold the law, right? So regardless of occurrence, regardless of how common it is, the fact that it happens at all is a tragedy in my book. And that's as far in the direction of politics that I'm going to go. I'm American, and I thought that joke was hilarious. Yeah. There you go. Is it kind of a rule that whatever you say on the internet, someone will be deeply offended anyways? Yeah, pretty much. Someone. Along the entire political spectrum. Or any spectrum, really. Just want to say, great job keeping up the grind and being active. It takes a lot of strength to change. Keep going, you can do it. Yeah, hopefully. It's been rough. Very rough. You know, it doesn't help that, you know, in addition to, you know, starving for half the day and you know, having to deal with, you know, working around chronic injuries and whatever during exercise, on top of that having to deal with all the YouTube stress has been rough on the mental health. You know, I don't even really want to say that, because there's always like immediately this thought of, well, what can you complain about? You're not working in the coal mines, which is, yeah, that's true. I could be in a much worse spot much, much worse. But, you know, just because someone somewhere on this planet is getting tortured right now doesn't mean you don't have problems, right? Is Twitch better in terms of income and stress? I don't know, because I'm not getting income from Twitch. It's not working so far. At least stress kind of helps with the weight loss. And no, it doesn't. That's the thing. Because my ingrained coping mechanism to deal with stress is, guess what? Eating bad food. So it makes it worse. It would be nice if I was the kind of person where, you know, stress ruins my appetite. That'd be easier. But if that was the case, I probably wouldn't look like this to begin with. I'd probably be skinny and complaining about how hard it is to gain weight. You know? That's just how it is. What's your year threshold for when events stop being historical and start becoming political? That's a good question. I mean, you know, there's politics and, well, actually, I would put it this way. For the most part, if it's not affecting anyone still alive, it's probably more historical than, I mean, again, those two are interwoven, but, you know, when I say politics, I'm talking mainly current day, not really current day, recent politics, recent as, you know, in the sense of affecting people who are still alive. I mean, that's also not quite right, because recent politics, you know, decisions made by politicians who are long dead may still be affecting us, but it's kind of tricky too. Basically, like, anything before 1900 would be easy enough, right? Or is it? American Civil War and all that? But, I don't know. I can't really draw a clear line here. Yeah, it's all going back a long time. Context, yes. A wild map appears. Should I, should I say something like, I'm gonna run twice as fast for Super Chats, or am I gonna die? I know how the chat works sometimes, so it's probably not safe. Go 3 times as fast! Depends on the price, though. Twice would be crazy. Well, not necessarily. 4.8. I can do that for a while at least. 1 pommel joke per super chat, yeah. Okay, $5, and I'll go twice as fast for half a minute. $10, a full minute. I'm just making shit up as I go. Tier 1, well, that's $2 though. What do I do with that? Okay, yeah, no, I can kind of have it. So twice as fast for 25 seconds, or 20 seconds because it's $2. I don't know. Okay, why not? Hang on. I'm gonna have to time it. Like, look at the timer right here for that to make sense. Okay, 4.8. Skip? What do you mean skip? 4.8 miles per... It's definitely not miles per hour. That would be way faster. You know, twice is really not that much. It's really not, because when you go from a brisk walk, you know, twice as fast as brisk walking is really not all that fast. My card got declined. Not like I tried to send $100 on an app bank. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, how about... Let me think. How about 3 times the current speed for half a minute for $10? This is so silly. But I guess it works. 3 times 2.4, 7.2. All right, that's doable. If it goes that high. You know what? Hang on. Hold your horses. Let me just quickly check that it goes that high. Don't want to scam anybody. 7.2. Okay, it does. Oh, the beeping. I hate the beeping so much. Yeah. 7.2 is really not that bad, and half a minute is not that much, so... I think I'm... Nah, that's... whatever. I'm being too easy on myself, and... I said literally just earlier in the stream, I'm not doing the stream for views and super chats, so no, I'm going to stick to that. Forget about it. But I'm still gonna crank it up every now and then. %, of the reason working out is so hard for me is because it's super boring for me. Yeah, same here. My problems are it's boring, it's demotivational, because either progress is slow or I have a high risk of acquiring injuries. And 3, you know, pre-existing injuries make it pretty damn hard. Anyway, enough talk. Have at you. Whoa, that sounds weird. If I crash and burn, it's your fault. Oh boy, this is so narrow. I'm scared. So I keep looking down so I don't overstep. All right. Oof. Okay, so the main thing that makes this difficult is that the treadmill is about this wide, which is precarious when you're going fast. Because while going fast, you don't want to accidentally step on the frames on the side, you know? So, or slip. Because if I slip here, my head is smashing right onto the keyboard and the table, which is not fun. Thanks, Darth Canadian. I think you like dark humor, right? Yeah. My grief counselor died. He was so good, I don't even care. Yikes, that's a good one. Does HEMA count as workout? Absolutely. I mean, it depends on how you do it. Just technique drills, I mean, it's still a light workout, I suppose. Sparring is one hell of a workout, especially in full gear. You know who has been helping me lose weight with martial arts training? That's awesome. It's teaching me a few basic drills. We haven't been sparring in any serious manner, but what we've been doing has been fun. That's good. If the exercise is actually fun, that helps a lot. Lost about 20 pounds since October, maybe more like 10. Well, either way, that's a lot. Congrats on that. We've been able to do some sparring lately. Not lately. I've been going to HEMA class. The thing is, HEMA class is only once a week. I mean, technically there is sparring on Fridays. The only problem is it ends at 9:30, and you'll probably laugh at me, but these days that's my bedtime. I'm that much of an old man, so yeah, I can't really do that. You know, working out until my bedtime, I'll never be able to fall asleep. And then that would disrupt my entire schedule. So, unfortunately, that's not an option currently. So, I can only go... What was that? Sounds like something small and light hit the window, probably. I was going to say, a bug? In the middle of winter? That can't be right. Suspicious. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so once a week, HEMA class. I need more. That's the thing. I need a lot more exercise. So I've been thinking about joining another gym. There is the closest thing to where we are is a boxing gym, and I might give that a try. There's also another club or gym, whatever, that does various forms of cardio and strength training and kickboxing for the exercise. I'm saying like specifically because I don't think they focus that much on the actual fighting and technique and all that. So there's that. But yeah, I might do that. This kind of part of the problems. You can always throw more money at self-improvement, right? If you have enough money, it becomes a lot easier because then you can get a personal trainer and you can sign up for a bunch of different schools or clubs, and you can get therapy to deal with eating disorder, etc. There's so many avenues, so many doors that enough money opens up, and that's been hasn't been going so great lately with YouTube algorithm shenanigans. So I need to choose wisely, prioritize. Anyway, let's go again. Boxing sounds nice. I trained martial arts a bunch of years ago and it was intense. Couldn't keep it up though. Yeah. Why does the treadmill sound so disconcerting? You gonna fall apart on me? I don't like these sounds. It's like some weird high-pitched squeaking noise or creaking or something, Okay, I really don't like that sound. I think I'm gonna have to take a closer look at this thing. That can't be right. All right, well, brisk walk it is then. Let's Let's make it quite brisk. Fall apart for content. No thanks. You told me you surprised him by how fast you switch up angles in your fighting. Did you ever do unarmed fighting with him? No, unarmed we didn't. Yeah, I wish I had more people here to do sparring with. That would definitely be helpful. But I don't know what it is, but even though Halifax is the bigger city, Victoria had a lot more going on in the way of HEMA. I mean, Victoria had 2 HEMA schools. There's one here, and there aren't a lot of members, unfortunately. Very capable instructor, though, so there's that. That's good. Yeah, so one of... Oh, yeah. Right. You know what, Darth Canadian? I'm sorry about that. I've literally had your message on Discord set to unread for... Oh my God. Since October last year? That's so stupid. I'm sorry. I have so many unread messages, mostly emails, but even on Discord, it tends to pile up. Yeah, I really need to get back to you on that. SEO and stuff. Yeah, I kind of need that. God damn it. Shadow sparring isn't a viable alternative. It is viable. I mean, it's not really sparring, but like, you practice techniques by yourself. I just find it very difficult to get motivated to do that. It's much easier for me when I have the pressure of, practicing with someone and actually fighting with them. So, it doesn't matter how tired I am. If I don't want to get the crap beaten out of me, I better act. That kind of thing. Have you ever tested yourself in case you're on the spectrum? No. I mean, I guess, yeah, I get a test, I suppose so. But I've been diagnosed with ADHD. But not autism. That is not part of the list, so to speak. Sounds good. No worries. Holidays are a mess for everyone's schedule. Well, I don't get to use that excuse anymore. It's been a while. Now the problem is more trying to catch up with everything because the to-do list never lets up. It keeps growing. It keeps lurking. No, not lurking. What's the word? Cowering, I guess. How does that work? Never been tested for anything. I don't know. I have no idea how. You basically just go to your family doctor, or if you don't have one, to a walk-in clinic, I suppose, and tell them about it. Tell them you like to be tested, and then they'll refer you to a specialist who does that. Hopefully, can take a while though. ADHD is brutal. Oh yes, it very much is. Inability to focus and yet hyperfixation in each of the worst ways possible. Yep, that, and also just being chronically low on dopamine. There's lots of things that go into ADHD, unfortunately. Motivational problems, inability to relate to the future, to plan ahead, time blindness. It's just a lot of crap. For some people, like myself included, low energy. It's, yeah. Sucks. But what can you do? Gotta struggle with it and try to make the best of it some way. Any plans on Avatar Last Airbender video? Airbender video? Not really, no. I'm not sure what to talk about there. But even when just walking, I sometimes come close to the edges of the treadmill, so that's not helpful. Not entirely helpful, no. I do wish it was a little bit wider, but then again, then it wouldn't be as light and easy to move around and store and all that. I love some videos explaining some techniques that could be more focused on demonstrations and analysis of your own training. Yeah, unfortunately, that kind of video is almost completely off the table now because it just completely underperforms in the current algorithm climate. And unfortunately, you have to worry about that because that keeps damaging the channel long term. You know, literally each individual video I put up that doesn't get a certain number of views makes the algorithm throttle future uploads. So it keeps getting worse and worse. So at this point, I unfortunately have to be super paranoid and careful with what I even put up. However, I could do stuff like this as exclusive content for Patreon and YouTube members. That would make sense because then it doesn't matter. Because, yeah, I know people want to see that. It's just there are not enough people who want it, you know? Or at least, I'm not even convinced that's the case. YouTube doesn't show it to enough people, you know? It's such a stupid downward spiral. It gets more and more frustrating, and it pisses me off, quite frankly, at this point. Actually, well, it basically makes me alternate between being pissed off and depressed. That's pretty much it. It's mostly frustration, which can cause either. Anyway, I said I was not gonna vent about the current situation, so I'll try not to. I'm gonna stop myself right here. People have been wanting a YouTube alternative for a while. Yeah, unfortunately, there is none. Not a viable one. Yep, I mean, people keep mentioning Rumble. But I took a look, and literally, the videos that show up under trending, the most promoted videos on the platform, get about 50K views. That's pitiful compared to YouTube. For the most promoted videos that show up on the start page, yikes. If you notice that lots of sword channels are having trouble with views, yes. But not just sword channels, in general, like the older channels. I mean, like even, you know, even some of the ones that used to be super big and influential, like AVGN, you know, like AVGN videos still get 1 million views each usually, but they used to get several million, and other videos that go up on Cinemassacre get like 100K or so, sometimes less. And I've seen so many other channels that have like 1 million, 1.5, 2 million or more, 3 million even, subscribers, and they get like 15,000 views per video, like 15, 20, 30, something like that. It's horrible. It's not just me, but that doesn't particularly help. Because it doesn't matter whether or not it's my fault specifically or something, some YouTube issue. Either way, it's a problem that I'm trying to fix. Doesn't seem like I can, but it won't stop me from trying. I'll be stubborn about it. See, I'm already doing it again. Let's change topic. I don't want to be complaining all the time. It's not good. It's not your problem. I don't want to bother you with that. You're not here for that. And I don't want to be a downer. So, funner topics? More fun topics. YouTube doesn't really like weapon channels that much. No, that used to not be a problem. That used to not be a problem because like the exact same kind of video about a similar topic that I can make now used to get 3 times more views or even more. So that in and of itself is not the problem. Safest bet would be only streaming on the secondary channel. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm streaming on this channel now. Because it seems like that might also mess with the algorithm, so I'm paranoid about that on the main channel. Sucks, but eh. Do you like Metallica's newer works? Which ones? Death Magnetic is okay. I'm still not ready to forgive them for Saint Anger. This is the worst thing ever. Wasn't there a more recent one? I'm just remembering. Was Death Magnetic no? It can't be the last. Oh yeah, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Hardwired is also okay. Not digging it a whole lot, but it's not terrible. But for me, basically, where it's at is up to and including reload, basically. Some people don't even like load and reload. I thought those were great. I mean, sure, not as good as the original stuff. It's no Master of Puppets, but pretty damn good still. Funny thing, I got notifications to videos I'm not subbed. Notifications? Or are you talking about the stuff that you see on the main feed? Because if you just go to YouTube's homepage on the main feed, it's just recommendations. You know, if you go to your subscriptions tab, then you get what you actually signed up for. Notifications, like up to the bell upright? Really? What the hell? And you're sure you didn't sign up for those? That's just wild. Being able to just complain is good for your mental health? I'm not convinced. The problem is dwelling on it. I mean, yes, okay, true. No, actually, yeah. No, I can see what you mean. You do have a point. Since YouTube hears my complaints, I see the knife or sword. Unusual. Right, what's going on over there? What are the top comments right now? Let's see. Ugh. Yeah. The views indicate that it's going to be the same shit as usual. I know it's only been an hour, but you can already tell. Like, based on the performance within the first hour of an upload, you already get an idea of how it's going to go, unfortunately. And, yeah. After the first day, it's very obvious. If after the first day it doesn't have at least 50K, you're fucked pretty much. And it's going to be stuck at like 30 or 40 and maybe crawl up to 50 eventually, but then not get past that, which is not good enough, unfortunately. Anyway, just like pole arms, daggers, and swords are arbitrary names for sharp and or pointy pieces of metal attached to a hilt. Well, yeah, sure. It doesn't mean it's all the same. So strangely one of those topics where we work better with ambiguity than clear definitions. We have a general but more or less accurate sense of when a weapon is a sword or a dagger, but the minute you lay down parameters, then it breaks apart. Yeah, pretty much. That makes sense. By the way, there's this weird thing recently, like within the past few months or a year or so, of positive bot spam. You've probably seen that. There's a bunch of thought bots, basically, that keep posting positive comments on, oh, I love your video and blah, whatever. You did such good work and stuff. And then they have just a picture of their booty. I mean, not theirs, obviously, because clearly it's bots that are intended to either catfish people or otherwise scam them. But it's so weird to see like positive, encouraging messages being spammed. Normally it's like toxic troll spam. So I guess they're just trying a different tactic now. It's silly either way, but I'm kind of like, well, okay. I mean, it's engagement. It's not bad. I think the tactic is probably that the thoughtbots are supposed to lure guys in to then send them a message and oh, there's a hot girl that's giving me attention, because a lot of dudes are that desperate. And then, they get roped into some kind of scam. Well, yeah, positive bot spam. It's odd, but it might actually work better. Sad, but seems to work. You catch more flies with honey? Yeah, I suppose so. Or it's an advertisement to certain sites. Wink, wonk, wank, I guess. It's to be added there. Anyway, sad but true, yeah. Indeed. The positive attention works better due to isolation from the pandemic. Yeah, it's a combination of factors. The isolation from the pandemic is one thing, and just overall the sense of community has just deteriorated over the decades. People used to be much more active in their local community, and nowadays they're much more isolated as individuals. We're very well connected online, but a lot of people are super isolated as far as face-to-face interaction is concerned. No one goes outside anymore? No, people go outside. They definitely do go outside, but not to interact in groups as much anymore. I don't know how the Zoomies are doing in that regard, because they're, on the one hand, it seems like they might be more terminally online, and they grew up with phones in their hands. But on the other hand, I'm not sure, because they do some things differently. So I'm not sure that they're really actually more isolated. Might be. I don't really know. As a Zoomie, I can tell you that our generation is lonely as fuck. All right, well, there you go. maybe the next generation is doing better. What is it again? Gen Alpha or something? I don't know how they're doing. They're still pretty young kids, right? No idea. But yeah, I don't know if the loneliness epidemic is worse with millennials or with Zoomies. But either way, we're all doing pretty shit compared to boomers. And Gen X, I guess, is in between. I don't know. Internet is good to meet, quote unquote, meet new people with common interests, but it's a bubble. Yeah, it's a bubble, it's an echo chamber. And to me, it's just not the same. Like, yes, it's nice to be able to talk to people from all over the world, but it's not the same as face-to-face interaction, you know? It doesn't have the same impact. I guess, you know, video chats are the second closest, but still not quite the same. Loneliness is just a product of the loss of third spaces, or just free places to hang out in public and meet people. Yeah, probably. There is that. I mean, yeah, people used to hang out in malls, you know, especially teenagers. Not that, well, okay, I still see that, actually. It hasn't stopped. Gotta change how I walk here as well. Bending my knees a little bit to engage different muscles. So now I'm becoming a dwarf. Yeah. Different stride. That looks real weird. Looks like I'm humping the table or something. Anyway. Clubs are still packed, though. Yeah, I've seen that. It's interesting. We hang out in malls, but they spend the entire time either smoking or staring at their phones. Right. That's not really hanging out together, is it? Hasn't stopped, and now we just hang out in live streams. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Clubs aren't really a great place to socialize, though. Yeah, I mean, you can't even hear each other, right? But I guess it's a good place to get laid. There is that. My ex used to stare more at her phone than me. Of course, we broke up. Yeah, that's... You know, generally I'm skeptical toward this boomer attitude of, hey, the kids and their phones, it rots the brain. Okay, during your time, your parents were the ones who were like, you're sitting in front of a TV all the time, it'll rot your brain. I mean, clearly it kind of did, but but there is something to it. Like, people are really overly focused on their phones. Like, you hear about dates. You know, people go on a date and then they don't fucking talk to each other and just stare at their phone. Like, what's the point? What are you doing? So yeah, there's definitely some of that. You know, the best date ever? Yes. Cemetery walk. Hike, yeah, that works too. Yep, I do like me some goth dates on the cemetery. Back in my day. Anyway. You know, back in my day when goths still existed. In significant numbers. They're almost extinct now, sadly. I have a ton of comments I want to say. Well, go ahead. As fast as you can type. Yeah, super quiet and calm. Exactly. It's nice. Or museums, you know? Museum date is also great. Easy hack to distinguish a dagger from a sword. If it's used as a sword, it is a sword. If it's used as a dagger, it's a dagger. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the Swiss Degen brought up. Either or. You can use either. So does it transform based on the use? Like the same object? Like, what does this weapon identify as? Same thing can be a dagger. Yeah, well, okay, if you really think that it can be a sword and a dagger at the same time, yeah, Schrodinger's sword. Schrodinger's sword. It's both. It's both and neither and whatever, you know? My pronouns are /stab. Or something. Usage of a gladius isn't really similar to that of a Zweihander, yet they're both swords. Well, yeah. Did you just assume my weapon class? Oh boy. Let's not go too far in that direction. Yeah, I mean, everything is a blade. Well, then again, it's not a blade. It has a blade. You know? I mean, if you call a dude a dick, then it's kind of that situation, you know? Anyway. As a trans person, I vote to make more pronoun jokes. They're funny. Okay, I mean... That gives it more weight, I suppose, even though I'm pretty sure there are also trans people who would take issue with that and disagree with you. But that's the thing, like, you know, nobody can really be a spokesperson for an entire group. How does that work, you know? The difference between individuals tends to be greater than that between groups. I think that it might have the fact that you want your channel to grow by doing better videos. Well, I wouldn't know what else to do. You know, like, you can't cheat it. Well, maybe... Okay, that's not... You sort of can. You can sort of cheat it by leaning into drama. By doing clickbait and drama and all that. You can... at least grow a channel for a while. It's not a way to really keep an audience, because eventually they're going to be tired of your shit. But yeah, I suppose it's a fast lane, but hell no. Pronoun jokes, as long as they're not insulting or in bad taste, are fine. Yeah, I agree, but of course, I'm not affected, because, you know, as a straight cis dude, I'm not facing any kind of discrimination. You know, unlike what some people are trying to claim, I really don't. But yeah, intention matters. I agree. It's not the only thing that matters, but it very much does, and needs to be taken into account. The only problem is intention is difficult to prove, you know, or even get a feel for. I'm impressed. The number of likes is almost the same as the number of concurrent viewers. Because it's generally been around, 50 to 60, and we're at 51 likes, so impressive. Clearly the total number of viewers is different, but like concurrent matches pretty well. Interesting. Weird, it says 1 to me. If you refresh, it should update. To me, if it's insulting, I'll find it hilarious. Yeah, well, my rule of thumb for insulting humor is it's fine as long as it's kicking up. Either up or like if it's self-deprecating. If you're poking fun at the group that you're a part of, or if you're, kicking up and making fun of people who are in better positions than you, then that's totally fine. Kicking down is distasteful, for the most part, in my book. Oh, now we're at 62. Hey, can we get the likes to 69? Then I can end the stream there. The thing is, I have up to, I was going to say up to 20 minutes, more like 10 minutes left, because I'm going to have to get ready for HEMA class. And so I'm warming up, but I'm also going to have to stretch, because that's what it takes to get this aging wreck of a body to actually behave and perform and not be stiff and hurting. So, yeah, I'm going to need like a bit of time to stretch and, change clothes and get ready and all that. Wash up quickly. That sort of thing. It's often self-deprecating, but also my friend group is the type to flip each other off as a way of saying hello. Yeah. That, like, if you know each other, and you know the spirit in which it's intended, then yeah, you can be as rude as you want, right? If everybody is on the same page and takes it the right way. Met some very nice babes at funerals. Okay then. It's not the place you would normally think to go to pick someone up, but hey, if it works, it works. On the internet, nobody's on the same page. Well, no, some people are very much on the same page, so much so that they will absolutely ignore and straight up persecute anyone who disagrees. Because echo chambers are big on the internet. $67 likes. I see what you're doing there. You want to leave a bit of safety margin there, so that I don't end the stream before you want me to. 68. Uh-oh. We're getting close. There we go, 69. And done. End stream. No, I have another. I said 5 to 10 minutes. Oh no. I see. Somebody removed their like to bring it back down to 68. I see what you're doing. I see your shenanigans. You mischievous buggers. Anyway, this means war. Yeah. 70, and now you ruined it. Somebody ruined it. They were like, no, fuck this. I'm not playing that game. And it's back down to 69. Good job, whoever that was. You can like it some more afterwards when the stream is over, but keep it at, oh no, it's 66. You broke it. What have you done? You ruined it all. Pox on you. 65? Oh, come on. That's just rude now. That's just rude. Overcorrecting, yeah. Now we're back at 69. There we go. Good job. 71. Oh, and now you screwed it again. That's a problem. Like, you can't really... If there's like 55 people trying to wrangle the number, and you're going to get in each other's way. That's a problem. This is a precise operation right there. Anyway, that's all right. I'm worried about my knees hiking with a weighted backpack, but then my job is basically hiking. Yeah, I understand that. Knees are silly. Joints in general. Joints are pretty terrible. Fragile. The treadmill is still pretty squeaky. So it's not just when going fast, it's just that it sounds worse when going fast, but it does it like this too. I'm gonna have to take a look. Maybe it needs some lubrication, or maybe it doesn't really look as if the belt is misaligned, but I'm just gonna have to check. Dip the whole treadmill in WD-40. Yeah, that would work, I guess. If I can get a large enough vat of WD-40. Do you turn into like a mechanic joker if you fall into a vat of WD-40? I'll tell you how I got these oil-stained hands. Get dissolved. As a runner, I've accepted my fate of having ruined knees. It takes solace in my ability to laugh at jumpers who have even worse knees. Yes, there's always somebody who has it worse. That's true. Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up here because, as said, I'm going to have to get ready, and I'm absolutely awful at estimating how much time something takes. So I always need to start getting ready earlier than I think I need. Because, as I said, ADHD time blindness makes it almost impossible to judge that accurately. But you learn and you compensate eventually. So, yeah, time to get ready for HEMO class. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you had fun. Or got some sort of enjoyment or reinforcement out of it. And